Plastic Model Builders. Hello, it's me, Ari Stone with Plastic Model Builder, and this is part 6 of our Tamiya Grumman F-14D Tomcat in 1/48 scale. We are going to be applying painting masks in this video. We are going to paint the fuselage. We are also going to be doing many other great things, such as painting all the other parts and the missiles that need to get painted in this, as well as doing the special colors for the Squadron leader on this very model. So let's get to it for some model making madness and making things look pretty. So we're using the painting mask, as you can see there. I am putting this piece in because I forgot to put this in earlier when it was supposed to be put in, so I had to jam it in there. You have to put that on before you put on the intakes. I did not do that. You see, that's where it goes, right there in that spot. Had to get that before we did everything else. You see, I got some stuff still masked off there. We are going to put on all the pieces in this cockpit. So you see right there, the front instrument panel goes in and the rear instrument panel, along with the seat, then the front cover right there, which we're going to glue down and paint. As you see, it is already painted and primed. You did see me mask that off earlier. So I am only using this to hold everything down so I don't get spray paint inside of the canopy. Nice little technique. You can tell that this is the actual color of the aircraft. Matches very well with the plastic itself. So just gotta look for the wet spots so you know you got it on the model properly. We've got pylons right here that need to be painted, so we have to go through those, make those look very pretty as well. Some fuel tanks right there. I am doing the color scheme that's on the box where you have the blue. That blue does have decals. Right here is one of the fairings that go on the plane for when the wings sweep. They have 4 of those. One for open and one for closed, although both will fit. It's a little secret. We've got our landing gear doors right here that we are painting. A bunch of those, so just make sure you get everything. Front and rear, left and right, of course. We also have some pods that we're going to paint, the rest of those. Here's some more landing gear doors right there. That is the front landing gear. And there's that front pod I was talking to you about earlier, the lantern pod. We got a wing right here. Do the front and back of this wing with the fuselage color. It's kind of like a tan color. If you look up pictures of this airplane online, you will see it does stick out like a sore thumb from all the other planes on the deck of the carrier, because it does look a little bit tan. Maybe it just got weathered, I don't know. But it is what it is. You've got your tail fins right here. There's one of your rear stabilizers, help the plane move, all that good stuff. And there is the other one, do the front and the back. Very simple stuff. And then the underside of the fuselage right here, and you see all those little spots where we have to put missiles and all sorts of good things going on. Just get yourself good coverage, do a couple of coats, whatever you see fit. That's how I do mine. Do light coats, get a nice little layer going on, then put on a heavy coat. It makes things look very good and very pretty. That's the whole process of everything, making things look pretty for model making madness. Alright, so this is the blue paint right here that we are mixing up. We're going to make this look good. We put it on the tail fins. We're going to put it on all sorts of good things here, as well as the front of the aircraft. And also that front, like I said, it does have a decal, but we don't use that because, as you see, we had to do the tail fins. So this is the front, and once we're done the front, we will also paint the yellow color because there's a small yellow stripe on this. I do this in light coats as well. You'll see the end result of it. I'm not going to show you every layer that gets painted, but you get the main concept of this. You see how that goes. Yes, I mask off everything because I don't like overspray, and I've learned that if you don't want paint on something, just simply mask it. Easiest way. There's another stabilizer right there. Goes on the rear of the aircraft. And you see how I paint that. Again, light coats, just going over it. Don't forget the underside as well. With those little things. And you see, it's very simple to do. A light coat, and you just go a little darker each time. More and more levels of darkness will appear, and that color really starts to stand out and look like the box artwork. And this is what this looks like Once we peel off all the masking, if you do it right, you won't have any paint peels. And there it is. Now I can also take off that canopy. And here is the rear stabilizers. You see what those look like. Always make sure you press them down, all your masking at the ends. That way, you know, you don't get bleed through, things like that. Here's the canopy right here. All the painting masks that this comes with that you do have to cut out, but it's got the lines and it's not too hard, and you really don't have to worry about getting it perfect on the middle stuff, because the ends are really what matters that meet up with the lines of the aircraft. So those are the colors that I am using right there to mix up the yellow. I believe it gives you instructions for that. If not, just eyeball it and make it look good. And this is how it comes out. A little bit on the canopy is how I did mine. I'm not exactly sure if that's how it's supposed to go, but it didn't have a great frame of reference other than some pictures, so I did my best, and this is what I do. And you know, you will see that end result later on in the future of this build. You see how I go all along there, getting the front and the back portion of this, and as well that canopy. You have to make sure you get that too. Just do a good job. As usual, it's Model Making Madness, and we make things look pretty again. So we have here our pylon for the Phoenix missiles, 2 different colors. That's why it's masked off the way it is. I painted the tip, then you paint the back. Same with these pylons right here. Those are a little bit different color. Same with this pod right here. Everything has a little bit different colors from the front and the back. That popped out, by the way. That was on the front pod. So there you go. You see, those are what those look like. 2 different colors on there. And we also will be painting some missiles. And as well, we're going to do the intakes. And it's not the intakes, I'm sorry. These are the exhaust ports. So we're going to paint these a black color right here. We are going to also weather the exhaust nozzles and as well the engine details on the inside. You see, I've got my little dotting tool right there that I dip in the paint, and I just slowly go along this edge and paint this. Yeah, it's small, but it gets painted and you can kind of see it. These get kind of like a goldish, tannish color right there. You can see how that goes on. Even still have some of the things on there from the sprues, so make sure you clip those off. The under gates, sand them down. One of the few things on the model that you need to sand off. So this is how I paint these. This is one way to do it. See me going from the back to the larger portion, and then there's another way that I do this where I just slide it in like that, and I like that method a lot better because it makes it conform rather than me having to conform it itself. Yes, I color outside the lines, it happens. Then you have this little area right here. It goes a little bit of a silver color. Go all the way around each one of them, do front and back. I'm going to weather these later on. You won't see that, but I do show you me weathering the insides of those right there. You see how those go. This is not the weathering though, but this is part of the paint scheme, and you can even look inside of engines and you will see they do actually look like this. And once these are done, I've got a wonderful detail set that's basically makeup for models, and we're going to make this up. And so what I'm doing right here, I'm just getting the top portions, they're the longest portion, and then we turn it over right here and we do the other side because it's hard to see because it does angle a little bit. But we paint that, and this is how it looks. And once it's weathered, the little mistakes that we make, you don't have to worry about. So this right here is a Phoenix missile. Paint that. We've got these bombs right here. We're going to paint those, the paveways. Actually, those aren't the paveways. We have a Sidewinder missile right here. Those are the paveways right there. All sorts of various missiles that come with this kit, so you have plenty of leftover armament for whatever you want to build later on. And so here you see these are the engines, the exhausts from them, the blades. There's my makeup kit, just putting a dirt color, chalky color on the insides. Drop that in there, flip it if you need to, Use your finger to hold that down, glue it in place. This slides right inside. Put your paint and your glue there. That's the exhaust nozzle. It's got a little registration area. Glue those together just like that. And then pick a side, whichever side you want to do first, put it on. It will only go one way, so you can't mess it up. You see how that goes? I just get that paint in there and then press it down. More model making madness, of course, and you see that little boo-boo I had there. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like. And as always, until next time, see ya!